Today we're going to be reviewing the Scorpions album, Savage Amusements. And we might as well drink a beer while we do it. And what better beer than this one? One of the beers from the Beer 52 Oktoberfest. This is a Spree Coast IPA, West Coast IPA. I think that this is a perfect compliment to the Scorpions because they always try to be a West Coast type of band. But what is Savage Amusements like and what's the beer like? Keep on watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going to be reviewing this beer. This is Spree Coast IPA. It is from the Beer 52 box, so the Oktoberfest obviously. It's from the Lemke Berlin brewery and it's a West Coast IPA. So West Coast not usually my favourite style, but I'm going to do a quick review of this and then we're going to be reviewing Scorpions' Savage Amusements album. So first things first, let's get this beer into a glass. And I'll do a few little initial sort of comments on it before we get down to the review of the album. Right, let's get this beer out. For those who like bottle tops, this is the bottle top on this one. It's actually, I just noticed it's not a 330ml bottle. It's actually a 355ml bottle. So could that boost up the value for money? I don't know. We'll find out. Let's get this beer out of the bottle and into a glass. I'm expecting this one to be a little bit on the bitter side. It's certainly coming through quite dark, so it's quite dark orange. Quite high levels of carbonation. You can see them racing up the glass there. It's fairly clear. It's a sort of golden amber sort of colour. It's fairly clear. We've got a two-finger, sort of just off-white beige sort of head, but it looks fairly compacted. Let's get some aroma, shall we? Yeah, I'm getting quite strong sort of bittery, orangey sort of aromas. There's a slight hint of grapefruit as well, which obviously that creates that little bit of bitterness. But, let's give it a try. Cheers, everyone. It's quite interesting. Strong orange flavours. It feels quite soft actually. Even though I can still see the bubbles rising up there, it's not as gassy as probably as I expected. It's got quite a nice mouthfeel. It's got orange rind, and real big orange flavours in there. And there's a lot, and then you get like a sort of grapefruity on the flavour on the back end, which gives a little bit of bitterness. It's quite dry and bitter actually. So it makes me want to drink more. That's not bad. There is that bitterness in there, but it's very nicely balanced actually. Orange on the front, grapefruit, bitter orange on the back. It's a really nice, easy drinking beer. I'm quite enjoying this. So let's go on with the review, shall we? So, Scorpions, Savage Amusements. With a huge back catalogue of albums by the Scorpions, it was quite difficult to choose the album that I wanted to review first. But I wanted to pick one which I don't think gets the love and attention that it actually deserves. So the album is called Savage Amusements. It's the Scorpions' 10th studio album. It was released in 1988. Now, hopefully those watching this video will know more about the Scorpions than their one song that everyone here knows off of The Wind of Change. But they've been going for over 50 years. They're, in my opinion, one of the best hard rock bands basically to come out, whether they've come out of Germany or anywhere else in the world. They're a really great hard rock band. Now, certainly in their pomp was sort of like the late 70s to the sort of early 90s. This is when they were like really great. And they were formed in Hanover in Germany. And this period that I mentioned, and obviously the album itself, is the real definitive lineup, in my opinion, of the Scorpions. So we've got Klaus Meine on vocals, we've got Rudi Schenker and Matthias Jabs on guitars, we've got Francis Bulchos on bass, and Hermann the German Rarebell on drums. As I said, believe me when there's more to the Scorpions than The Wind of Change. Even though that song is one of the biggest selling singles of all time. It's sold 14 million copies. And actually, if you go to Wikipedia, it actually says that Scorpions, their albums have sold over 100 million, which, to be honest, I think is a little bit high, because that's more than some of the other great bands that we love on this channel, like Van Halen and Iron Maiden. So back to Savage Amusements, the album. This was released at the height of sort of the American hard rock scene, sort of in the late 80s. It was panned quite a lot at the time, mainly due to the fact that it's very slickly produced. Press really sort of thought, they slagged it off a little bit, because really it's been described as the Scorpions version of Def Leppard's Hysteria. They wanted to make an album which was really slick and every song on it could be released as a single. And I think they sort of achieved that, because there is a lot of great songs on there. It's all killer and no filler. I mean, it's only 38 minutes long, but it's still, every song is really great. Often great rocker style with Don't Stop at the Top. It's a great anthem, it's got a great groove, and it's got really great sort of Rudy Schenker riff in it. It's a great opener to an album. Then we go straight into Rhythm of Love. This is a real good live favourite. It's a sort of mid-pace rocker, but it's got a great chorus, great sing-along to. Track number 3 is Passion Rules the Game. Again, great rocker, and it could be easy on par with some of those songs from Def Leppard, like Animal or Rocket. The 4th song, though, Media Overkill, it really sounds more like Bon Jovi. I don't know whether that's because he uses the vocoder, but there's also a lot of studio trickery in this song, with lots of effects. Herman's drum snare sounds has got a lot of reverb on it, but it's still a great track, and again, a real sing-along, catchy sort of song. Production-wise, they've thrown all the 80s tricks into the mix there. Then it slows down a little bit with Walking on the Edge. Starts off sort of almost like a ballad, but quickly turns into a mid-pace rocker. Again, great songwriting, really catchy. Then We Let It Rock, You Let It Roll is a great rock song, and I expect this was a real good live song. It's got some great little lead flourishes by Matthias Jabs. Every Minute, Every Day is probably the weakest track that comes next. It's a bit of a throwaway song. Then we've got the penultimate and probably the heaviest track on the album, and this is the song Love on the Run. Now, this song is probably one of my favourites. It's only 3.5 minutes, but from the first sort of drums snare beat into it to the last sort of little outro solo, it just never lets stop, and it's probably one of the Scorpions' fastest and heaviest songs of all time. Then we get the obligatory ballad, and this is the last song. There's only 9 songs on this album. As I said, it's only 38 minutes long. Believe in Love. It's a nice, pleasant ballad, but the Scorpions have done some really, really great ballads in their times. Whether it's sort of some of the later songs like Send Me an Angel and obviously Wind of Change, to some of the sort of earlier songs like When the Smoke is Coming Down or Holiday, or my favourite ballad by theirs is Still Loving You. So that's the album. As I said, I think it was a little bit pan. Their album before that, with the song Rock You Like a Hurricane on it, Love at First Sting, was certainly an album that was seen as probably one of their best of that period. Even though, maybe, and even Love Drive and Blackout, again, brilliant albums. So, Savage Amusements, is it their best album? I would say probably not, but it's certainly one of my favourites. But I'm interested to know what you think. Do you like the Scorpions? Have you heard more Scorpions albums than the song Wind of Change? What's your favourite Scorpions album? Would you rank Savage Amusements quite highly? I'm really interested to know what everyone thinks. So if you could just let me know in the comments below, and that'd be really great. So I hope you've enjoyed the review. Hope you've enjoyed the beer. And until next one, you know what you need to do. Keep on rocking.